Welcome back to Principles of Marketing class. Now let us try to understand some of the core concepts in marketing which are shaping the activities in the marketing. Now before going with the core concepts, we need to understand how these concepts are helpful for marketers to know about its own products. Now here if we look at marketing is one such program which is creating a leadership quality in the activities of the organization, using which company could able to navigate the very changing business or else what we call as dynamics in the business with marketing as a leader. Marketing as a leader, how is it marketing is acting as a leader? Marketing is one which could able to understand the changes which is happening in the market. How the change in the consumer needs, the change in the consumer expectation, the change in the external world, and trying to create products according to the changes which is happening in the external world or in the consumer's expectation. That is possible with the help of this marketing. Hence marketing acts as a leader to the organization, where with this leads the entire activities of the organization. Now this marketing helps in adapting to the change of consumer behavior. Not only consumer behavior, we could able to see even there is a change in the technological environment happening around, and there is a change in the global market happening around. Now all these changes can be adopted once with the help of marketing to the company. Constantly while scanning the environment of the marketing, company will understand the changes which is happening either in the mindset of the consumers or the changes the constant upgradation in the technology which is happening in the world, which is being expected in the product by the consumers. Then at the same time the changes which is happening outside the domestic market also, ultimately all these can be anticipated with the help of marketing, and all these can be inculcated in the product and brought to reality with the help of marketing. Hence marketing plays the lead role in the activities in the organization. Then marketing transcends where cutting edge completely beyond the whatever expectation that the organization had. Now with the help of this marketing, company could able to shape the future by understanding the consumers as well as by satisfying their needs. Now that transcending act is possible to the organization with the help of marketing. Hence we could able to say that this marketing act as a leader in the entire activity of the organization. Then further, this marketing creates an essence and at the same time could able to understand the challenges. Now the marketing illustrates the adaptability to the social aspects, economic aspects and technological aspects by anticipating the shift in it. Now to understand all these things, marketing is an essence activity in the organization. Now with the help of marketing, company could able to showcase its collaborative effort in product development. Various departments come together, could able to collaborate, could able to come up with the product, and now that is possible with the help of marketing. Now customer assistance can be taken now and then to realize whether the product is really being produced according to the expectation of the consumers. That is possible by test marketing. And then strategic planning in between, for example, like once when the product is in the introduction stage, what should be the pricing? In the growth stage, what should be the pricing? In the maturity stage, during decline stage, what should be the pricing? All these are possible to understand with the help of marketing. Hence this act as an essence in the activities of the organization. Then emphasize communication's vital role in conveying product value. One's addressing consumer needs, conveying them this product addresses their needs in the form of messages. Now that is possible with the help of this communication. What should be emphasized in communication again can be understood with the help of marketing. Then the core principles in marketing, if we take balancing in providing solutions, fostering loyalty with ethics, and to balancing in providing solutions, what is the need to the consumer which is being taken as a problem which is to be addressed by the product, that can be balanced. And once when company could able to balance it well, that enhances the consumption rate. Consumers are feeling happy with the product, they start purchasing repeatedly, they start giving positive word of mouth, then that increases loyalty and that ultimately creates ethics also. Now that is possible with the help of marketing. Then discussing technology's pivotal role in exploring new opportunities. Now how can a same product be enhanced in its features by adopting new technology? That is possible by anticipating the expectation of consumers. Now again, marketing helps in that. And to conclude altogether, exploration of marketing which is very dynamic in its nature, and understanding customers, focusing customers, planning strategically and creating a positive impact on the very diverse culture, especially to a country like India and the diverse markets. Everything is possible to a company by understanding the core concepts in marketing. Now let us try to understand what are the core concepts in marketing. Basically, if we take the core concepts in marketing, company needs to understand what are the needs of consumers. Are these needs simply needs, or there is a shift in the needs which we call as wants, and how is demand being created? Then what is actually viewed as product or service? Then how consumers take using this product as an experience? How is the market for that? How is this exchange process happening? What is the transaction happening? How to build a relationship? Then customer value, what is that value being expected in the product, and how consumers are getting satisfied to know or else to transcend across the entire activity of the organization, which ultimately fulfills the objectives at both the end, that is at consumers end as well as the marketers end. That is possible by understanding the core concepts in marketing. Now let us try to understand each one. Needs, if we take, as we know, needs, the basic necessities which is required for our survival, like food, water and shelter. Now company need to identify, is it addressing the basic need in the form of its product to the consumers or something else? Identifying and addressing from basics for product development and positioning, right from identifying the basics of the product, what is that the very fundamental expectation in the product, and development of that into product, and then positioning, placing the same into the minds of the consumers. That is possible by understanding what are the needs of consumers. Now then wants are shaped by culture. Basic necessities, once when it is being viewed from the perspective of the culture, then it becomes want, even from the perspective of the society and even from individual preferences. Now wants are next step after needs. While a need for clothing, for example, a need for clothing exists because we have to protect ourselves, then want may be specific brand or style. Any clothing and even tailor-made clothes are also okay. Why is that we look for specific brand or specific style of products? That is because we are expecting from somebody else's perspective, maybe from the context to which we are going. For example, like must be we are going to a party. Then what is the wear which is being expected in the party? Now that becomes want. Then marketing efforts often tap into creating wants through branding and advertising. Then where is that effort of marketers lie? In understanding these wants and tapping these wants in the creation of the products and in the creation of the brand and in the creation of the advertisements. Further, then what does it mean demand from the perspective of marketing? Demand, always to understand, we need to realize that it arises when wants are backed by purchasing power. For example, like I have a need, I have a want. If I am not having any purchasing ability, then it is not possible to purchase. Once when consumers get their purchasing ability along with the want, then demand arises. Then business aims to create products and services that not only fulfill customer wants, but also generate demands by ensuring accessibility and affordability. It aims, now these business are aiming not simply producing the products or services, but at the same time fulfilling these wants by generating demand. So what does that mean? Once when consumer is rightly affordable, that particular product, trying to place the product to the minds of the consumers, as well as placing the product in the availability to their nearest outlet and making it more accessible, influencing them, or creating the need in them, or persuading consumers is the act of fulfillment of demand in the perspective of marketing. For example, in India, if we take the brand Patanjali majorly focuses on providing Ayurvedic and natural products which are very basic requirements for us. But when we look at product Haldiram's, that is not simply for fulfilling our hunger or something like that. That is beyond that. We are expecting lot of flavors, lot of varieties for as a time pass snack. Then demand is generated through effective marketing, making these products accessible to a wide consumer base. For example, like if I go to nearest mom pop store or departmental store, and if these products are not available, then obviously I am not able to purchase the product. Making these products available at the right time once when consumers are aware of the product and are expecting the product, now that is what is called as demand perspective from marketing. Then we need to understand what is meant by service and product as well as experiences. As we know, products are very tangible goods. For example, like cars, smartphones, then clothing. Where successful marketing involves creating quality products and effectively communicating the features and benefits to meet those needs. Now, a successful marketing efforts by a company, what does that mean? A successful marketing effort, it means company would have understood rightly the products being expected by consumers and by communicating the same to the consumers to purchase the product and to benefit consumers by meeting their needs. And once when that is happening, creation of product and supply of product is going to happen. Similarly, the services are intangible and it is involving actions or tasks performed for consumers. Now, goods are tangible, which can be felt, which can be touched, whereas services are not tangible aspects which cannot be touched. And at the same time, how does the services look like? How do we purchase? For example, like once when we are purchasing the consultant advice, when we are trying to diagnose ourselves with the help of doctor, when we are getting education, what is that we are purchasing is we are purchasing services. Then marketing services often requires emphasizing expertise, reliability and customer centricity. Now, once when this services, when we look at marketing of the services, something which is intangible, then what is that in the core? It expects emphasizing expertise. People who are supplying should be expertise. For example, like doctor one who is diagnosing, lawyer one who is trying to give the solution. Now, all they should have expertise, or else saloon barber whom we call as should be expert in cutting hair. Now, it should be reliable, we should be able to rely on them so that once when we are purchasing, whatever desired expectation we have is being achieved or met by those people who are providing services. Now, to happen that, there should be customer centricity. What does that mean? These service providers should have to keep the expectation of consumers in their mind, exactly matching to the need of the consumers. They have to provide the services. Now, something which is intangible has to be expressed, something which is intangible has to be understood, something which is intangible has to be delivered, now because of which we are calling it as services. Then experiences, the overall customer, once when either products are purchased or services are purchased, how does consumers feel about the products or services is being explained by experiences. The overall customer experiences, it encompasses every interaction a customer has with the brand. Every interaction right from the moment once when they look at the brand, when they look at the package, when they look at the product, when they are experiencing the benefit of the product, what is that they are feeling with respect to the product and all the attributes, we call that as experience. Products, services, as well as the customer support. Sometimes apart from product, if we look at customer support, how to use the product, we are not getting it. Once when on a toll free number if we are calling, and if we are getting the assistance how to use the product, then certainly that is a customer support. Even the ambience, we are in the hotel, when we are there about to dine, how is the ambience around us and what sort of feeling that is giving us, everything creates an experience to us. Then crafting a positive and memorable experience contributes to brand loyalty and positive word of mouth. Now, why should company focus on the experience aspects of the consumers? Company should focus on the experience aspects of the consumers because it has to create the brand loyalty and positive word of mouth, which is going to benefit to the organization. And once when this experience is higher and higher with all the interactions of the brand and the product to the organization, then consumers are tending to be more loyal, and that creates more positive word of mouth. Hence, experiences are to be taken care by the organization, and more good experiences are to be created by the organization in the form of the products or services to the consumers. Now, to this, if we take an example, for example, like Tata Nano is the car, where we call as world's cheapest car, which is being produced as a part of tangible product that fulfills the need for affordable transportation, very affordable transportation. The product which could able to fulfill expectation of affordability. Then services, if we take example, Oyo Rooms has come up with an online platform for booking budget accommodation. So, going in search from one accommodation to that of another, from one lodge to that of another, that was again time consuming, effort consuming and money consuming. Now, Oyo could able to overcome, and at the same time, what is exactly the budget accommodation, one which is charging very less, we can trace with the help of that Oyo apps. Then when it comes for experiences, Taj Hotels, they are very renowned for their luxury experiences being given and the kind of hospitality being given to the consumers. Then which is offering a premium experience compared to other hotels, and that goes beyond just a place to stay. Taj Hotels are not just a place to stay, anything beyond that place to stay, where more experiences are being given to the consumers, memorable experiences are being given to the consumers, because of which Taj Hotels are remembered always. And then let us try to understand what is this market. If we look at the definition of the market, a market is a dynamic space where buyers and sellers are interacting. Now, where a place where buyers and sellers meet and they are trying to have a transaction, and there is an exchange of goods to the money. There is an exchange of goods is happening, which we call as selling the product to the consumers. Then it includes all potential customers with a shared need of want and the ability to engage in an exchange. What does it include, that market? It includes all potential consumers, that is future buyers who has that shared need, who had expressed what sort of need is to be addressed and what sort of wants are to be addressed, and they have the ability to purchase the product. Now these consumers and the sellers or marketers whom we call, they are trying to get engaged in the process of exchanging at the place called market. Then markets can be local markets, regional markets or global market. Local markets in that particular place or locality, regional market in one particular region, national market as a country whole, global market, world as a whole, trying to sell across the boundaries. Then types of market, how do we bifurcate types of markets? Based on the segments to which company is catering, we are trying to bifurcate the types of the market, like demographic segments, considering factors like age, gender, income, etc. For example, like companies producing products to a particular age group, companies producing products to a particular gender, either male or female, producing, for example, like all lifestyle products basically focuses on high-end incomes. Then psychographic segmentation focuses on lifestyle and personality traits, where higher rather than needs, higher wants are being taken care. Based on their psychological aspects, the segmentations are being done, where people who are willing to fulfill their lifestyle, who wanted to portray or project their lifestyle and they wanted to project their personality, are willing to purchase such goods. Usually lifestyle products are costlier products. Then behavioral segmentation looks at consumer behavior, and geographic segmentation considers the physical location of the consumers. Behavioral segmentation, if you look at all consumers behaving in a particular pattern or in a particular manner, maybe they are present in one particular geography of the segment, or else in one particular physical location those customers are available, but if you look at in terms of their behavior, all of them behave similarly. So that's how when we are trying to bifurcate the markets, we are trying to look at different segment based on which market that they are supposed to address, they are supposed to produce the products are being identified. To this, if we take an example, in the smartphone industry, if we take Indian market, brand Xiaomi, if we look at, they are targeting for budget conscious youth people, but at the same time when we are taking Apple, that focuses more on premium segment. Then geographic market, if we take, based on regional variations, consumer preferences, for example, like most of the time we expect that let there be keypads with our local language, for example like keypads in Hindi, keypads in the statewide languages which are being used, leading to tailored marketing strategies for different states or regions. Because of that, marketers could able to tailor their strategies, could able to come up with the solution in the product to address the needs of the consumers. Then let us try to understand the concept exchange, transaction and relationship. If we take exchange in marketing, fundamentally it involves exchange where both the parties benefit. What is that both the parties are benefiting? Company produces the goods where consumers are willing to exchange the goods with that of money. For instance, a consumer gains products or services and a business gains revenue. What is the outcome of that? The outcome of this exchange is company is gaining revenue, whereas consumers are gaining products. Understanding the value pursued by both parties is crucial for successful exchange. And now in both the parties, what is that value for both of them? For consumers, not just simply products, benefits being expected in the products which is addressing their needs. And for company, the profit which comes out of their revenue which they have generated, now that is what being expected. Now there is a value being involved in both the exchange of goods with that of services. Then transaction. A transaction is one-time interaction between a buyer and a seller. Between the buyer and the seller, there is one-time interaction. Buyer is coming to the place, they are trying to purchase the product and there is a transaction happening. While transactions are very essential, they are very successful business aspects aiming to convert one-time transactions into ongoing relationship. These transactions are very crucial aspects for organization. Why? Because transactions are moments of truth. Once when during the transaction, if they could able to satisfy consumers, now that creates an experience, and that experience create a positive feeling in consumers, and that further makes consumers to be happy about the product which they have bought, and that makes creates brand loyalty amongst them. They start purchasing the product repeatedly again and again. Then relationship. Now relationship is happening in the form of marketing, which is centered around building long-term connections with customers. Now at the core of relationship, why should company build relationship with the customers? Because at the center there lies a long-term expectation that company wanted to connect with customer for a longer duration. There's a saying in marketing, once if company could able to convert the consumer as a brand loyal consumer, it could able to save in its cost part to the expectation of 30 to 35%. Hence a relationship needed to be built by the company. Then this relationship emphasizes customer retention, loyalty, and now this relationship is being emphasized in the form of customer retention. Customers are retained towards the company by convincing them deeply that the product is the only product which could able to address the need of them. Then customers can be retained with the help of loyalty programs, and customer can be retained with the help of personalized interaction. In loyalty programs, they are trying to design programs in such a manner customers are attracted towards the organization. For example, like when we go for purchasing in retailing, in supermarkets, there will be loyalty programs in which if at all we are purchasing to the amount of so and so 5,000 rupees, you get so much of discount. Along with that, you get so much of points. Along with that, you are getting one free SIM. If not, you are getting some rations free. Then there can be personalized interactions also. Consumers can be called and can be told that they're being considered as somebody who is more important in the organization, where consumers need to purchase repeatedly. In that manner, there'll be a lot of benefit from the organization to the consumers. Then strong relationship can lead to repeat business and positive word of mouth marketing once when this relationship is strongly built. Now that is going to create a positive word of mouth, which is creating loyalty in the product by the consumers. Now to this, if we take an example, in the e-commerce giant Flipkart company, every day it is engaging in transactions, daily business, where it is selling products on its online platform where products are purchased. However, this Flipkart, if we take, focuses on building relationship through loyalty programs, through personalized recommendations and customer supports. For example, like looking at our earlier purchases, this time designing the pattern, if at all we are making so much of purchase, what is the benefit that we are getting from the Flipkart. Then personalized recommendation based on the interest on the products which we have browsed, similar products, similar brands are being recommended. And at the same time, customer supports are being given. For example, like we could not able to book the product today, then tomorrow, whatever the problem being addressed by the company, trying to give messages constantly to us. Then encouraging repeat business. Now what will happen with this? A repeated business is being encouraged by this Flipkart, and in long term it is going to have a relationship with the consumers. Now let us try to understand customer value and satisfaction. Customer value is about delivering benefits that exceed the cost of products or services. Now value, once when we are purchasing the product, we are not just simply purchasing the product. What is that we are purchasing is solution to the problem what we had. Solution forms the part of benefits. Then customer value is about delivering benefits that exceeds the cost of product or services. Then it is not just about price, it includes factors like quality, convenience, emotional appeal, understanding what customers value helps in product development and marketing. Now, what does this value consist of? It doesn't consist of price. Now, along with price, then what does it consist of? Factors like quality in the product, whether the product is really having more quality or less quality. Convenience, whether the product is convenient. Is that product emotionally appealing to the consumers, like whatever emotional aspects that they had to be addressed? Is it really addressing those? Then understanding what customers value help in product development and marketing. Then ultimately, company need to understand what customers are expecting, the value that is benefits, which helps the product company to inculcate that at the development of the product and to produce the same and to market. Then satisfaction is from consumers' perception of how well the product or services meet their expectation. Once whatever the expectation before purchasing the product consumers had, and if that expectation is being met by the product, then we are going to call it as customers are satisfied. Then constantly meeting or exceeding these expectations of the consumers, that leads to satisfied consumers who are more likely to become repeat customers and advocates for the brands. Now, once if these customers are satisfied, if company could able to create the satisfaction in consumers, then the happy consumers are going to create good word of mouth around, through which customer could able to not only simply telling good about the product, and at the same time they feel good about the product, they experience it, they make repeated purchases, through which they can create brand loyal consumers. Then for example, if we take in India, once when Jio services was launched, now this Reliance could able to disrupt the entire telecom market setup by offering affordable data plans and by creating value for customers. Now, how is that it could able to disrupt the available setup which was there earlier? Because Jio could able to come up with very affordable plans and could able to create value for the money which consumers are investing, because of which consumers felt that Reliance is one which is providing very valuable services to the consumers. Now that increased connectivity and cost savings contributed to the Customer satisfaction. And what happened with that? Connectivity has constantly improved, and at the same time cost savings happened. Now there is good connectivity at less cost. Customers were very happy with respect to this Reliance Jio services. Now when it comes for another example, Zomato, which is a food delivery app or platform which we call, that is not only providing services but is also enhancing customer experiences. How does Zomato enhances customer experiences? Now through the features what it has got, like reviews, all those who have bought on Zomato from that particular store, what is their opinion? They provide reviews, and at the same time they provide ratings. So is it number 1 rated, 2 or 5 rated? Then personalized recommendations. Sometimes certain requirements which are being met by consumers personally can also be given, where they can say to the Zomato that we wanted today that particular food with more spices, with more salt, or whatever the expectation can be, that recommendation can be given through this app. Now if we look at, we have learnt the core concepts, and from these core concepts collectively we could able to understand the foundation of this marketing strategy. The successful business align their efforts with these principles to create products and services that fulfill customer needs. Now by understanding these concepts, company will be able to come up with the principles, will be able to do right efforts by fulfilling the needs of consumers, and by establishing the strong relationship with respect to consumers, then ultimately by driving the entire business towards the success. With this, today's class is being ended.